Good afternoon everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and another little holiday warning and a little warning regarding a scam that is going on over here in Tenerife, but also on the other islands as well. So I'm going to be talking to you all about that. If you are new to the channel, a big welcome. I do live here in Tenerife and I've got thousands of videos on the channel for you to enjoy. If you're returning, a big welcome back. I'm sure you might have already seen it. It is all over the news and all over the media regarding a scam that is going on to do with tablets in the electronic shops, in the souvenir stores, particularly in Las Americas, Costa Rica, Los Cristianos. There's a little scam going on. The Mail Online have gone undercover and exposed all of that as well. This all started about a week ago with an article with a lady who was explaining how she'd been scammed with a tablet that sounded very cheap in a shop over here in Tenerife. She bought it, got home and found out the charge on her card was over £2,000. The Mail Online did do a little article on that. They got a lot of responses. I think a lot of people saying, yes, that happened to me, that happened to me. And it did sort of explode. And they have then since been back in the last week or so undercover and have caught some of these scammers in Las Americas with a bit of an article about it as well. So I'm going to explain exactly what has gone on and how you can be very careful. A lot of people have already asked me about it and asked me where I would buy electronics from. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on, where I would make any electrical purchases from over here in South Tenerife. As for the other islands, I'm not too sure, but it is going to be a bit of a warning for you all. If you're going to buy anything over here in the Canaries, do be very careful. So I am going to link this down in the description. This is the Daily Mail, of course, and this is the Mail Online in particular. Souvenir shop scammers caught on camera. Mail Online exposes Tenerife gangs trying to fleece UK tourists for thousands of pounds by offering cut price iPads. Now Laura's dad, my partner, he also was targeted about a year or so ago when he was over. Thankfully, Laura stepped in before he could go any further. He did purchase this cheap tablet. When he got it back, it wouldn't work. He discovered you needed a SIM card. They invited him back to the shop, and Laura was having none of it and actually got him a refund, made them do it right in front of her and get the money back onto his card. So, continuing with this bit of an article here, the high-pressure tactics used by smooth-talking conmen in Tenerife to fleece thousands of elderly British holidaymakers in credit card scams can be revealed today. There is a video you can watch as well. Mail Online witnessed gangs of suspected fraudsters deliberately targeting older Britons while ignoring younger tourists on the promenade on the south of the island. This was down in Las Americas. They were trying to get them in, deliberately ignoring the younger ones who are a bit more clued up with all the tech. My mum and dad wouldn't have a clue about it. A lot of your parents or a lot of you wouldn't know much about tablets, how much they normally cost and things. It is interesting they deliberately skipped the younger ones who might have a bit more of an idea of what's going on. British pensioners have fallen victim to fraud, which typically involves them being offered a laptop, iPad, phone or similar device for an attractive price. It's ridiculously cheap. It goes with that whole, if it sounds too good to be true, it normally is. The scam takes place when fraudsters working in souvenir shops use intimidating tactics to get their victims into the shop. Once inside, they typically offer the vulnerable elderly tourists a device for a cut price. They take a deposit of about €30 on a credit or debit card. But when the customer inserts their card, they quickly start storing things from the card, clone the cards and also steal the bank details as well. So that is one of the scams. They can clone your card or keep all of those details. Often they ask holidaymakers to return to pay the balance and accidentally type in a far higher amount before asking the tourists to type their PIN and without offering them a receipt for the purchase either. So you'll go to pay and what they'll do is they'll distract you. They'll be waffling on about, oh, you got a great deal, and they will change the price. They won't be putting in €30. They might be putting in €300 or €3,000. They are targeting older, more elderly people, you know, might not have put their glasses on, might not, you know, they think they've got a great deal. They're not thinking about exactly what's going on. Other versions of the fraud involve the scammers stealing PIN numbers or later charging a far higher fee than agreed using bogus bank debit forms. So they go back in later and charge even more on the same card. Pensioners are often targeted on the last day of their holiday and typically only find out they've been conned weeks later when they check their bank and credit card statements. So they do it and then you're off the island. They've not got to deal with you. You're gone. They've got their money. Very, very naughty. Last week, the Daily Mail told how widow Bridget Manning, of 84 years of age, was offered a top-of-the-range tablet for £150, but found her 2 bank accounts had been emptied of a total of £2,128 after she returned home. So not nice at all. If you're going to buy any electronics over here in Tenerife, there's only 2 shops I would buy from. I've bought from them myself. I can't give you any information on any of the others because I've never shopped in them. But for me, I've shopped in Wharton's. They've got 2 big stores, one in Las Chafiras, one also in Adeki. They're a massive chain. They're the equivalent of the Canaries version of your likes of your PC World, Currys. Big store. The other one that I've dealt with in Las Americas, I've bought camera equipment from them, including these microphones. I've never had a problem. I get a Factura. They've got another store in Gran Canaria as well, and that is Visanta. You can shop online with them. You can go into the store. You can order things with them as well. You can try them out. I've never had an issue with them. They are in Park Santiago 3 under the hotel in that shopping area. The rest I haven't dealt with, so I couldn't really give too much of an opinion on. But those 2 are the ones I would go to first. They are my first port of call if I need electronics over here. Wharton's, if not Visanta, and you can confirm with those. They're online. You can see their shop in Gran Canaria as well. They're the 2 I would recommend. As I said, I don't know about the others. If you've got any particular recommendations of where people should shop if they really want to buy electronics over here, do let us know down in the comments. Be very careful where you go. There is talk here. A lot of people have tried to pay with cash, but they insist on card. So that might be a bit of a tip. If you're worried about being scammed, if you pay cash, they can't scam your cards. And if it is a scam, they won't want to take your cash. If it was a genuine sale, they're allowed to accept the cash. They're happy to sell you the product. They're going to make their profits, whether you pay cash or card. If it's a scam, they will go on and on and on about how they want card, they want debit card, credit card. They can't accept cash. It's a load of rubbish. They can accept cash. And if it's a genuine sale, they will take the money. They're happy to make the sale, cash or card, and that's it. But do be very, very careful. It was a retired police officer that came over and did the undercover work. There is the video there, as I mentioned. He's made a few comments. They might as well have sat me down with a spotlight on my face. It was an onslaught, and they were so determined, very aggressive with it all. But with my police background as a detective, I can smell a scam a mile away, and I wasn't giving in. What he eventually ended up doing was putting in his PIN incorrectly 3 times, so the card was blocked. And he said their face was a picture. So do please be very careful. A lot of people messaged me and said, can you make a video on it in case you haven't already seen it? As I said, it's everywhere. It's all over the news and things. This does happen all over Europe, not just Tenerife. So wherever you're off to, be very careful if you're going to buy electronics. If you really need to. Do you really need to buy electronics over here? For me as a resident, obviously I have to. But if I was coming over on holiday, maybe try and get it beforehand. You've not got to worry about being scammed. But yes, be very careful. If they're getting pushy, aggressive, just walk out of the shop. If you do feel like you've been scammed, or you feel like something has gone on, or maybe they've taken your card details, or they've pressured you, ask for a complaints form. They have to legally supply you with a complaints form. If they don't, you can also call the police as well. They certainly won't want you to do that if they are scamming you. But yes, do be very, very careful. Maybe just try and pay with cash. And you might be thinking, oh, what a cheap, great little souvenir to take back to the kids or a family member. Bargain tablet. Bargains don't exist. If it sounds too good to be true, it normally is. So do be very, very careful. I hope that does help some of you. Those are the 2 stores. I will link them down in the description as well. If you want to buy electricals over here, they're the 2 that I would use. Make sure you do subscribe. There's lots of videos on the channel regarding Tenerife, little warning videos as well. I did a previous warning as well regarding pickpockets. They are still out and about as well, so do be very careful with all of your things, your wallets, your purses, any valuables. Do keep them safe, keep your wits about you. Do give a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Let me know in the comments, and stride on. I'll see you very soon.